This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Jay Banky. Difficult conversations are never fun, but sometimes they're necessary, just like they are today, right here on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network, partnered with LPV Productions. I am Kevin Arnold, joined as always by always positive Jay across the table. And behind the proverbial glass, it is our producer extraordinaire, Peter Tellep, or Audio, as we like to refer to him as, because you'll never see his face. He's more like an AI system, just like Jarvis was to Iron Man Tony Stark. Big Marvel fans, maybe we'll get into some Marvel today because Audio finally told us he finally watched Spider-Man.
Oh,
that was big news before the show, but there's much bigger news that we need to start with today. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Of course, make sure you follow us at VTL_pod on Twitter. You can follow myself if you're listening to the audio only throughout the week on Google, Spotify, and Apple. Make sure you follow me at Kevin7. That's KEVANINSEVAN. I know the spelling is down below for those watching, but those that are just listening, I want to make sure we get that information out to you as well. For Jay, it is always positive Jay and at LPV Productions. You can always find us also on Facebook, Voice of the Land, or at VTLCLE. Didn't even know there was at signs on Facebook. You can follow Big Play at Big Play 216 on Twitter. There's a whole laundry list of places. You can even follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of the Land Podcast, Big Play, all over the place. You can catch us wherever, however, wherever you listen to us. It's a whole list every single week that we go through. And of course, we are always brought to you by Vector Technical. They will get the right person in the right job the first time, and DP Construction LLC. They'll take care of your concrete construction needs. Make sure to call them 330-217-4999. That's 330-217-4999. Jay, again, difficult conversations. As you know, Thursday, we kind of all got the news that the Browns were out on Deshaun Watson.
And it was relieving there for a second. I ain't going to lie.
I was definitely relieved. And I know if you go strictly to football, you can have the conversation all day long. Who's better, Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield? And most of the time, it's going to be Deshaun Watson. I will say that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I understand this team wanting to upgrade, and even the people that have kind of brought Baker's immaturity back into question. I understand all that. I am not going to argue that. I think some of it goes too far. Some of it gets too personal. That's Brown's Twitter for you. That's the stupid Twitter spaces. I'm not going to go on a rant about those right now. There are some good ones, but most of the time they are ridiculous. This is much more of a realistic space where we talk, trying to figure out ways to get more people kind of being able to interact with us, but you can always comment on the live stream that you're watching or tweet at us throughout the show. But we get to Friday and, feeling relieved, just more moral compass wise, Deshaun Watson, everything that goes with him. The number 22 still sticks out more than $230 million to me. And then about 3:45, Adam Schefter tweets out that Deshaun Watson had changed his mind and he decided to come to the Cleveland Browns. We posted a poll at VTL_pod and closed now, but over 200 votes, and asking, it was pretty simple: good move or bad move for the Browns to continue to basically pursue him and still make the trade when he decided that he was willing to come here and waive his no trade clause. 59% said good move. 41% said bad move. Jay, I'll ask you, good move, bad move, but also, where were you? This is one of those stories. It's like, I remember where I was, or like, where were you when? How did you find out? And just the reaction. And again, of course, good move, bad move.
I was just telling Peter beforehand. I was telling you earlier on the phone, I was sick. So I was all doped up on NyQuil and DayQuil all day and half asleep. And my friend from work had sent me a screenshot of the tweet, and I'm like, felt like the kid in that dental thing, like, you're so messed up, like, is this real life? Like, and I just think I fell right back asleep. And then I woke up, I'm like, did that really just happen? Like, what? And I was like just in complete shock and still kind of distraught from being sick. Yeah, I mean, you guys heard me. I've thought for sure Baker was coming back. I was very vocal on Twitter. I did not want Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to deny how good he is on the field. I didn't want all this that goes with it. And that poll shows you, like, if we get someone of his character, no matter what we gave up, if this ain't like the bad move, that 41%, they don't care about the salary cap hit. They don't care about giving up 3 picks or first round picks. They care about what this dude allegedly could have done. And I just I feel so bad for a lot of our female fans, and I seen a lot of my friends on there who say they're just not going to root for Browns no more. Like, well, they hope the best for us, but some people are just being rude and going at them. Like, let people react how they're going to react because you haven't been what they've been through. So everyone's going to react differently to this news. Like, this is polarizing. This isn't just if it was any other player at that stature, we'd all be. If you thought the OBJ celebration was something when we signed him or traded for him, there'd be a parade, like I was telling Peter already. We would literally have a parade. But no, it's like a dark cloud over this trade. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you asked me back in 2019, like if this happened back in 2019, or if the Browns would have put in the card for Deshaun Watson because he fell to him at 12 with the Chiefs trading up in that draft at number 10 to get Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson was right there at 12. Didn't think we were going to have a chance at any of those guys that they were talking about that year. And they traded with the Houston Texans to go all the way down into the 20s to low 20s to give the Texans Deshaun Watson. If you would ask me then or back in 2019, yeah, I would have been at the OBJ trade level that we were at back then. Now, I'm not. I even tweeted out. I didn't tease my response for this Twitter poll. I'm not trying to make any jokes. When we talk about polarizing, there's the kind of back and forth with a polarizing like Baker Mayfield, where Baker bros versus Baker bashers. That's kind of like sometimes in jest. This is a whole different level of polarizing, and we're not going to tell anybody how to feel. Now, I may tell people, don't tell people how to feel. Those people that are being rude like that on Twitter and in Brown's Twitter and in these spaces, because I've tuned into a couple of them that are getting on people that are saying they're done with the Browns. That's unnecessary.
It's a lack of empathy.
It is a lack of empathy and understanding. I almost tweeted out, and this isn't to get clicks or likes and even people to comment right now on it. I almost tweeted out because I can see it in my head, this image of the number 22, the greater than symbol, and 230 million. 22 greater than 230 million. The Browns knew that they could get Deshaun Watson by giving him 5 years, fully guaranteed $230 million contract to extend on to the contract that he had that was coming over from the Houston Texans. They knew that they could get him that way. Guess what? The 22 alleged cases of sexual assault and abuse, and however it's phrased in the legal documents of the civil cases that are out there right now, that should matter more. I know the Browns finally announced the trade today, and everybody had their comments, and everybody wanted to hear from especially D. Haslam, because that's the big one. But I don't care about a corporate statement that it's taken over 48 hours, or maybe less than, but about 48 hours to put out and word the right way from all of them. I want to hear them in person in a press conference, and I want actions to speak louder than words. It's still alleged, but just because the legal case was dropped or they didn't pursue any actual federal charges against Deshaun Watson, that does not automatically make him innocent. I'm not saying that all 22 are telling the truth. I'm not saying that all 22 are lying. I have a hard time believing when there are 22 women stating these cases, and the Browns said they did extensive research, and whether you think that the lawyer for these cases is shady or not, and people were bringing up his past today after he made the comment that the Browns did not reach out. NFL teams have not reached out to him. You're only getting one side of the story. There might be lies from the civil case side. There might be lies from Deshaun's side. You're not getting the full story. It's not extensive. What is extensive even mean? You're now telling me a lot without telling me anything, just like every single front office does. But in this case, it is unacceptable. I've kind of battled myself whether I'm should my fandom change? Because Cleveland is all I've known.
The exact reason I wanted to wear something that said Cleveland.
And I wore something that had like all the teams mixed in and just had a C, like, and it's the Cavs C that I've always kind of liked a lot more than the black C for the old school Indians. The new one's kind of nice, but again, it's just a plain old C. I'm not getting into that right now. There's more important things to talk about, and these are difficult conversations to have. Again, if people feel differently and they want to look at the football side and what this could do for the Browns, what it could bring them, I don't know that I could ever change being a Cleveland fan and being a Browns fan, but I have a hard time at least rooting for this guy or being excited like I would have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago even for bringing in Deshaun Watson. I can't do that. I cannot. If other people can and they're focused on the rumors of the guys that the Browns are talking to, trying to bring back Clowney, trying to bring back Landry, part of that to me feels like a PR move, a good gesture to Browns fans to bring back a guy that everybody beloved in Jarvis Landry and a guy that helped Myles Garrett in Jadeveon Clowney. I cannot get into the football side at all. My mind is not transitioned there. Other people have, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to condemn them. There are people condemning those that are saying that they're not going to be fans anymore or having a very hard time and are very conflicted. And that is what makes me more frustrated. I need to hear from the Browns and physically hear, not read. Jay, where are you at fandom wise? Because you've been a season ticket holder. You've definitely been a fan even longer than I have. And you've kind of had more experiences down there and more interacting with fellow Browns fans. Where are you at personally with this team and with this decision?
It's tough. Like, I sat there for a couple of days and I'm like, dude, I mean, can I root for these guys? Like, that's really wrong. But I just disagree with the move. But I'm always going to be loyal to the Browns more than the players and to the fans and to the city. But this isn't a Browns problem.
No,
this is an NFL problem is what it really boils down to. Like, if you go through every team, almost there's like someone with some kind of bad background almost on every team. And they really need to step up their game and start doing something with actions. If that means setting up programs for youth football players and starting early and like teaching them early what you can and can't be doing and stuff, and trying to change it early. Do something. You got to do something, because what they're doing right now is unacceptable, I think.
And there's a point in that I want to hit on kind of on the other side of the break. But before we go to break, Peter, I want to get your thoughts on this, because it is still a real conversation. And, we kind of talk, Jay and I kind of talk more of the football and the basketball at times, but you and Jacob are sitting here watching Browns games when we come in, especially the 4:00 ones. I mean, where are you at with all of this? Because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this since it all happened.
Well, honestly, like you guys, I think I was relieved when it looked like he wasn't coming here. And like, yes, he's a great quarterback. From a football standpoint, I think it's a great move by the Browns. But from all the baggage he brings and just the character, and here's the thing, hasn't been found guilty of anything.
Right.
There are allegations. I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but that's a lot of people coming forward. And I heard some various things where it was 9 women and this or that, but I just looked it up again. Yeah, it's 22 different women, and it's like a wide variety of allegations.
Yep.
So I think it's almost a cultural issue, not just with the NFL,
yes,
but with football in general. I mean, we hear stories about this NFL or college NCAA football players high school football players. I mean, we had an issue a couple years ago in Steubenville.
I was just about to say.
So I mean, that made national headlines, and it's really disheartening, to hear this. And like I said, I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of hard to.
Like I was telling you, if we were on an island, Kevin, and we all got stranded there, and there was 100 girls and 100 guys, we don't have any kind of technology to prove anything. But if one guy comes up and says, or one girl comes up and says, this guy did that, and like, is there any way you can prove it? You're like, no, it's one person's word against another. And
right.
You feel bad, but I mean, what are you going to do? Now, if 22 women on that island come up and say, this dude is doing this to us, I mean, you're off the island, bro. I mean, that's how it would be. And that's what it's the system that everything has to go through is fairly broken, probably.
And the system in society of how difficult it is for people to come forward with this. I mean, it happens to women. It's happened to men. I mean, sexual abuse it's a terrible thing, and it's very difficult for people to talk about. And it's also unfortunate that there is a culture in football. Yes, I understand the whole, everybody deserves a second chance. Kareem Hunt got a second chance. Other players have gotten second chances, and it's not just a Browns problem. I want to touch on that, though, because people are bringing this up on Twitter in other conversations about it's just the NFL and that's just how it goes. So you just gotta deal with it. It's not just the Browns problem. It's going on in the NFL. So I'm just going to still watch football because, it just is what it is. No one wants to speak up. We'll give our take on that. We want your take as well. We're 2 days removed, 2+ days removed from Deshaun Watson changes his mind, waiving his no trade clause. The Browns trading 3 first-rounders, I believe a 3rd-rounder and a 5th-round pick, and got a 5th-round pick back for 2024. We want to know, where are you at with this whole situation? Are you, is this still a good move to you? Bad move? Are you excited? Are you conflicted? Or are you just done with the Browns? Leave the comments below. Tweet at us at Kevin7, at AlwaysPositiveJ, at LPV Productions. We'll try to get to some comments if we get them. We'll be right back right here on the Voice of Land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land, part of the Big Play Sports Network. Kevin Arnold alongside Always Positive Jay and Peter Tellup. And we are talking the Deshaun Watson trade. We've kind of talked about good move, bad move. We did get a comment in the break here on Twitter. At Pat Peeve says, terrible trade, darkest day in Browns history. And there's people that feel that way. There's a lot of people that feel that way. I was working at the time, and when news around the office area broke, everybody was stunned. It was speechless, and I was speechless. And then as it sunk in, I was like, it felt dark to me, like when it's supposed to be a big thing for the football team because they are making a move. And some people have described it as selling their soul to the devil to try to win a championship. I mean, the Browns, part of this move is going all in to try to win a championship with the players they already have, a window there, trying to get better quarterback play for this team to win in the football sense.
I mean, if they win a Super Bowl, are you going to feel, what is it going
to
feel
know.
Like?
I can't.
It's tainted now.
I know.
Remember how we would say, if they won a Super Bowl, there'd be 10 million people downtown. It might be down to half of that right now.
Oh, there might be 10 million, maybe 5 million people celebrating, and 5 million people protesting.
So
it won't be the same.
No, it won't be the same.
Now, in terms of protesting, I know there was a picture of a woman outside of Kevin Stefanski's home. I understand protesting and everything like that. That kind of didn't sit right with me almost, because like now you're trying to get the families involved, and I feel bad for the families because
kids live there.
Yeah. Like we got to hear from these people. But, talking about winning a Super Bowl and how we would react before this, I wouldn't have been able to tell you how I would react because we don't really experience that here. And that's not something we're going after. But like, what would the jubilation be like? Like, I wouldn't have been able to describe how I reacted to the Cavs championship before that happened, because it just was
pure joy,
genuine emotion, and how it came out. It was going to come out. Now I can't describe how I'd feel if the Browns win a Super Bowl.
And you see Deshaun Watson holding up the MVP trophy. Like, it's a dirty trophy. It's kind of, it's very Houston Astros. Like, oh God, did I say that? I'm sorry, guys. I apologize, but it would feel like it a lot.
I don't know. It would feel even worse. It honestly would feel even worse because, like, I know the Astros cheated and banging on the trash cans and stuff.
They cheated in a sport, which is wrong.
Right.
They didn't have 22 allegations against them.
Right.
Sexual assault.
Again, there's, you don't cringe when you start hearing jokes made like the Houston Asterix for that championship. I cringe when there's jokes made about this situation because there is no joking. Again, if people feel excited because the Browns, they feel like the Browns got better by getting Deshaun Watson, that's fine. Now, how long is he going to be suspended? How much are you going to have him? I guess that's why I don't think the team has announced it yet, but the supposed signing of Jacoby Brissett to come in as a 1 year, maybe, something where they felt like Brissett and Watson do a little bit more of what Stefanski really wanted to do, and they weren't seeing that from Baker, even in Baker's good years, then, that's fine. And they feel like they can get through whatever they feel like right now is going to be the suspension for Watson. They traded away Keenum. Brissett, I think a little bit younger than Keenum, but still been around and been in the New England system. So, savvy veteran quarterback that, can get you through.
I like the move. I like Brissett actually as a backup.
Right. But I couldn't get, like, I responded yesterday saying, like, good move, I guess. Like, I can't get excited about any of these rumors and these signings right now because it's not football that's driving my emotions.
Why do you think you keep seeing people want them to sign Jarvis so bad? They want the good feeling back because they feel dirty right now.
And I might get like some good feeling back just because of how much Jarvis meant to not just the show, but to me. I think I tweeted a thank you out to him. But like I was when he came here and did the whole bless him thing, I was assistant coaching high school soccer at the time. And like jokingly one day at practice, I did the bless him. But these, the team, high school girls at Wycliffe, they were watching the Browns too. And like, so they had heard about the bless him and they started using that. And it, kind of drove, like, it was just one of this unifying type things. So like he meant more to me, not just as a football player, but off the field, like as an inspiration, a simple message of bless them. And it's not even grammatically correct by saying bless them instead of bless them. It just was a unifying sentiment that had so much underlying
when you have the character of Jarvis Landry, the show up and show out for his softball game I went to tells you everything. Like hundreds of people tailgating hours beforehand because they love juice, man. I love rooting for people like him.
I know. And
I don't like rooting for people like Deshaun Watson.
And I can't even tell you what I'm going to feel if they do sign him back, if he decides to come back here. And is he coming, is he?
I'm going to be excited.
Right.
That'll be the one signing that would really make me feel a little better, but I'd still feel dirty, but I'd just feel better because I love Jarvis.
Right. And again, I think you and I are both still at the standpoint of like, yes, we're still Browns fans, but it's very difficult. Those that have jumped off, it's not jumping off of a bandwagon. It is
standing up for what you believe in.
Standing up for what you believe in. Absolutely. And that brings me to what we wanted to kind of get to in this segment. It's the whole conversation around the NFL. The people that are telling others how to feel that they shouldn't be jumping off, saying that, hey, well, you rooted for Kareem Hunt, or in the NFL, this happens all the time. Guys get second chances. They've done terrible things, but, you're still going to give them the money. You're still going to watch. It just, it is what it is. You just have to let it go.
And for that argument right there, let me say, Kareem Hunt made one mistake on a drunken night.
And
that he
still
was
terrible.
provoked, and it was terrible. But he made one mistake that I know of. He got in a fight with some guy, but who hasn't gotten a fight in their life? But other than that, and he's amended it, he admitted it, and he's done so much to make up for it, I guess. And sometimes people will learn from situations like that. And I believe Kareem Hunt has learned from that situation. But again, that was one.
We've seen actions to do that. And I'm looking for actions moving forward with Deshaun Watson. But there was also, once we got Kareem Hunt, there was kind of already a finality to that. The video was out there. The suspension was kind of known or just about known at that time when John Dorsey brought him in. And I questioned it at that time, but, you know, kind of seeing him not just on the field, but in the community and working and living in the area that he was kind of from out in Lake County. He went to Willoughby South High School. He would come back and be around some of those areas and the job I was working at the time, and like seeing him just kind of interact with people and kind of community outreach. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson can't do that, but we're still kind of in almost a purgatory element of where we're at with this Watson situation. And it's still 22 alleged cases of sexual assault with 22 civil lawsuits out there. And sometimes when these civil lawsuits get paid off, that kind of leads more to, you know, the indication that you're guilty more than you're innocent. Not to make that assumption, but I'm sick and tired of the people that are saying that we just need to take it because it's the NFL. I was once told on this show that I couldn't, there was no point in me bringing up my issues with the NFL because no one listens. Everybody's going to pay for it. I know that, but it's not going to change just because it's been done for many years. Doesn't mean there shouldn't be a change. There should be more voices saying it. Just because maybe someone's not going to hear me, Kevin Arnold, talking about this and care and start a movement. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start a conversation. Just because something was done in the past doesn't make it right. And it's not right what's going on in the NFL. Yes, people do deserve second chances, but to certain degrees, we're overlooking too much. We're just kind of taking a blind eye to too many things right now.
Well, one thing I want to clear up, just so we don't get any lawyers, emailing us. According to what I see here is there were 22 suits filed. Only 2 were claims of sexual assault.
Okay.
That's still too many. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I just don't want it to be, an issue for us, and it's the thing is,
so what are does it say what the other
ones,
because I wouldn't be the first one. Even if I get our show in trouble, I wouldn't be the first one that's indicating that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I know it was a sexual misconduct.
Yeah, basically that he engaged in a pattern of lewd behavior.
Right.
So,
and
it's obviously there's a problem. Yeah, it's still wrong. I just want to.
And there's a line of behavior there that is absolutely terrible, and we can't, just for football purposes and for sports.
Yeah.
I say that it's, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. It's not. It's not just a game. We're passionate fans, and there's more that goes into it for us, but there's more that goes into sports than just what happens on the field or in the arena. There is life. These players are real people, and they make mistakes like any other human, and some of those mistakes deserve tougher consequences.
Well, here's the thing, and as a parent, I wish that more people in front office, not just NFL, college, high school coaches, would look at the players and say, is this person someone that I want my child to want to grow up to be?
Right.
They put winning ahead of everything way too much. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Winning is like everything to them, and winning's like, it's just not, dude. I don't. This is rough. I feel so bad for.
And I'm sorry to take on too much of the
ladies.
conversation. I want you guys to kind of get in on this too. Kind of after the break, I feel like we need to just kind of, do a little bit more after the break. We do have some comments coming in. Pat Peeve also tweeted out to us saying that his wife cried with the signing. And I think I even saw like our buddy Anthony Alford. him and his girlfriend. He said, like, anybody else having difficult conversations with their, significant others about this? Because I did, the difficult conversations about, are you still going to be a fan? Like, how do you feel about this? Because it's not just a football move. There's more that's coming with Deshaun Watson, and it's important to talk about those. He said that there's Pat P said there's no jokes or anything to say. Would rather have Trevor Siemian, and also said, hell yes, brother, wholeheartedly agree. We also had I don't know how to read that Twitter handle. I think it's at love my 2BCs. I feel exactly the way these guys do. So there's people that agree and there's people that don't. And I understand. I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel. We're trying to express that. I want to get more from Jay, more from Peter after this break. If you are looking for some more gear to wear around the house, though, and you enjoy some of our conversations, even when we have to have the difficult conversations or when we have the fun ones, reach on over to @voiceofland.com. More information on this break of how you can get some Voice of Land gear.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
You're tuned in to the Voice of Land here on the Big Play Network. Kevin Arnold alongside always positive Jay and Peter Telep. Of course, the conversation tonight has been all about the trade for Deshaun Watson and kind of the conversations around it. Again, not telling anybody how to feel. We were talking about the NFL and how people are kind of going to the, it's been done for so many years that we overlook these kind of alleged transgressions and possible transgressions from players that no matter how severe they are, and we give them the second and third and fourth chances, not just second chances. I think it's multiple chances that these players get. I go back to Josh Gordon, how many chances he got violating the league's drug policy, things like that. So we continue to overlook this. And those that are saying they're jumping off being a Browns fan because this hurts so bad to see someone like this brought into this organization, they're being told that they're wrong because, just live with it, because we live with it in the NFL for so long. We want to at least start the conversation that enough is enough with that. You got to at least talk about these things and we got to hear from them. Jay,
here's what I've been thinking about is I keep hearing, and it's sad, it's right, is if you're looking for a moral support, that's something for moral right things just being right, don't look towards the NFL.
No.
And it's wrong. That's not right.
Even professional sports or sports in general,
to
a certain extent.
We should be able to look at these people because everyone's like, oh, they're not what am I, the word I'm looking for? I'm so distraught actually. They're just not people you're supposed to look up to. Like, they should be people you look up to because there's so many kids that look up to these people. Like, why can't it stand for what it's supposed to, that shield that they say it's supposed to stand for? It should stand for that. They sit there and tell you we want to be like, do right in the world and stuff, but blatantly right in front of our face, they just don't care as long as you win. If you're a good player, you'll make a team, and that's not right.
And
it's all about them. It's all about the money. I mean,
exactly. You win, you get money.
The same thing, and you look at the NBA with their stance with China and all the stuff that happens in China, and it's like, the thing is, there's so much money to be made there that it's corrupting. They can't turn away from that.
Money is the root of all evil, as they say.
Well, the love of money is the root of all evil.
I mean, look at $230 million fully guaranteed. It's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
The reports were out there. How true they are, I don't know. But when Watson said that he was, they told Browns camp that he was out on them. He was still going through the other three teams and even out on Carolina. I think that at that point, all the teams were kind of talking about this extension that ended up coming out, and there was like 4 years guaranteed, and the Browns came back and never stopped pursuing him and gave him the 5 years guaranteed, $230 million. And his agent announced it before the Browns even did. The Texans and Deshaun Watson's agent announced it before the Browns did. I know it's like a
like
PR
the
thing.
statement thing.
I
Did
don't
you?
know. I did not.
It's all you're doing is kind of saying, I need to control the narrative. They're not taking questions. Like, I'm sorry, I want to see the owners out there. I want to see Andrew Berry out there, and I want to see the coach out there, and I want to see him answer some hard questions, and questions directly from some of our female reporters that have done some great jobs out there. Like, that's what they need to do. They're a statement. Like, come on, dude, get out in front of the people and talk.
And even if the Haslams were the driving force for this, especially Jimmy Haslam, and got the sign off from D Haslam, like, I want to hear from them. But it's okay if you're against this move to also criticize or at least take issue with, not necessarily taking all of your faith away from them, but take issue with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, the people that are personally attacking those that are, taking questions with them and trying to turn it into a whole different conversation and make claims against these people that they are bad people themselves for questioning Andrew Berry or Kevin Stefanski. That is also unacceptable. People are definitely allowed to feel how they feel. And I question this move wholeheartedly, and I'm conflicted, and it hurts so bad. And I can't even imagine how much it hurts the people that have been affected by these alleged acts that Deshaun Watson has been alleged to have committed.
How bad did you want to hear the question? Why didn't you ask their other lawyer and speak to them? That's the big question I wanted to hear. Why didn't you speak to their lawyers? I mean,
to me, that doesn't bother me so much, because as a defense lawyer, you're not going to say anything that's not going to contradict the claims that your clients have made. So I don't think sitting down and talking to the Browns.
If you're going to talk to one side, why wouldn't you talk to the other side? Is what we're saying.
No, I get that. I'm just saying I don't think that I don't think anything would come out of that would be of value. Is why. So I can kind of understand,
and vice versa,
because you're looking at Deshaun Watson, right? Not just the Browns are going there. They're looking at him as the quarterback. Yeah, this is a serious issue that they have to deal with, that's going on in his life, that he's accused of these things, right? But I don't see talking to him in vetting him that way, and then talking to a lawyer representing these women is really talking to the other side. I don't think there's anything that they're going to find other than it's going to be in the court filings.
So to me, it looks weird just talking to one side over the other, but okay,
the optics are bad.
But you need to talk to Deshaun Watson because he's going to be more involved with the organization than the lawyer is. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I'm only going to play devil's advocate here, Peter. I would at least want the Browns to reach out, and maybe he's lying that nobody reached out, because when they picked up the phone and he starts talking right away, they're already getting, the defense lawyer speak and not actual information, not willing to have the real conversations, kind of like we're having now. That's again, like, at least, I would like to pick up the phone and see what you can get. And if it turns into that defense lawyer thing, like you're saying, that conversation may not last long, and that's totally fine.
But that's all it's going to, that's the thing is, that's all it's going to be. No, and I get what you're saying. I mean, the optics of it are bad. And the thing is,
it's a PR nightmare.
You're not going to do anything. Yeah. There's no way you can positively spin.
No.
The allegations.
And
right?
It's going to take more than the first press conference of this conversation to, mend, if they can even mend fences. If people are going to be out forever, that's totally their decision, and I respect that wholeheartedly. I can't even say where I'm fully at right now, and it's so hard to say, and we're only in March. We don't play football for another 6 months, maybe a little bit less than that, but it's
and we don't even know if he's going to be our starting quarterback, because we don't know how long.
Yeah, he might get a year-long suspension. He might get 4 games. Who knows?
Right. Now, if depending on what the NFL's investigation comes out to be, and the NFL and the way they dole out some suspensions at times, like Kelvin really gets a whole year doing something that is becoming more and more legal and is going to sports betting, which is going to be implemented into sports stadiums and is going to help get cities more, or whoever's going to get the money, it's going to drive more money and somehow more money coming back to the NFL, which again comes back to what this is all about.
That's because him betting on his team, akin to Pete Rose, right? It's him betting on his team, even though he bet, on his team to win or whatever, and he was away from the team. The problem that shows the potential issues for the NFL that could show, our players going to be throwing games. Or,
right.
It's that there's
shaving
there's
points
even,
is what
and
problem.
there's even way more money involved there in
right.
sports betting with the NFL.
Where do you draw the line at like what behavior is more severe, and if one behavior isn't as severe but has more severe track that it could go down?
The double standards are just disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting. I know we had some other comments coming in. Love my two BCs. Also said once responded back to us saying agreed. Don't need a written statement. I want them to answer truthfully in detail. And again, one press conference isn't going to change it, but again, it starts a conversation. Just like we're trying to start a conversation about how the excuse of it's just the NFL, guys getting multiple chances, doing terrible acts or being alleged to have done terrible acts and have deep-rooted character issues. It's just the excuse is over. Like it's time to not just take a blind eye to it and, question that and ask them to look at how they handle behaviors like this and alleged behaviors and how they handled their consequences that are doled out and setting up a better culture in the NFL that then spreads out to the rest of the teams, because this is not a Browns issue in general. It is an NFL issue, but right now the next one in line is the Browns that have to deal with this issue, and they need to deal with this more face-to-face than just through these corporate statements.
It's just kind of mind-boggling that, it's one thing if you draft a quarterback, right? You draft a quarterback and something like this happens and he's your quarterback and you have to deal with it. But what kind of boggles the mind is you have to take on this, this just, and I'm still sitting here like you guys, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel.
I don't even know if I made complete sentences tonight. I'm speechless on it. And the last thing that popped in my head throughout this is I'm not a parent yet, but I'm gonna be, and we're planning on and hoping to have kids and girls, especially the whole notion, the picture of Kobe being a girl dad, and the stories of that after the unfortunate passing of Kobe Bryant. And he had his alleged acts and had to go through court on that. And that was all figured out. He mended his image and stuff and what he ended up doing in the community. So again, it's possible for Deshaun Watson, but these conversations that parents have to have with their kids, I can't even imagine right now, Peter, but it's something down the line. Yeah.
We still, and this is still so fresh. We still have to wait and find out. We don't know.
We don't know.
He could be completely innocent.
He could be.
And the thing is, right now, he's being dragged through, and the women that have accused him, they're all being dragged through the court of public opinion. And you're going to have people decide on either way, and maybe he's innocent, maybe he's guilty, maybe he can. Maybe he acted inappropriately and he can, do something to redeem himself. But that's down the road, if that's even a possibility. And we're stuck here as Browns fans sitting here saying, hey, you know what? Baker, he played pretty crappy last year. He played pretty great the year before. Yeah. But I didn't have to worry about his character off the field, which people are now bringing into question, but in a whole much more smaller spectrum way with Baker than Deshaun Watson. And if Deshaun Watson is ultimately found to be fully innocent, I'll apologize for, taking alleged and maybe taking it too far. It just doesn't sit right with me right now. And only time's going to tell.
There is a silver lining. There always is. Do you see the amount of donations for like causes
Yes.
and stuff like for like rape victims and is it RAN, I think?
Ran or Rain, I
Something.
think.
I
Yeah.
apologize for not knowing the names, but there's like thousands of dollars people are donating to the Cleveland area for these causes for women and men.
I'm
We
sure.
got to do a better job protecting our ladies, like as
Yeah.
general, like their moms, their sisters, their daughters, their grandmothers, their aunts, every one of them. Like, listen to them, make them feel comfortable if they have something like that. They'll talk to you because there are a lot of times they're just afraid to speak up, and that's sad.
Yeah.
So, if any of our lady listeners, you can DM any of us who are need anything to talk to, and we'll hopefully get you to the right direction to speak to someone that'll help you out. Like, always reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out.
We need to do a better job of helping everybody.
Exactly.
Because there's minority groups that deal with, discrimination and things like that. That's still prevalent in our society as it was back in even in the 1700s. Like some of those ideals still drive here. Women not feeling comfortable speaking up. Other,
the amount of guys that are just some disgusting dudes on Twitter. They're like,
yeah,
God, if I had the ability to reach through your phone and punch you through it, I would. Because that's the problem. Why do you think they don't want to speak up? Because they say something and then they get ridiculed by a bunch of sexist assholes. Sorry, I finally swore on the show. I knew it was going to happen, but I'm going to let myself go on this one.
I agree with you. I mean, it's disgusting. And I'm trying to get into the media. We're trying to get into the media. I don't agree with every one of my, sisters and brothers in the media that I'm trying to join. I don't agree with every take that they have or every article that they write or question that they ask, but I'm not good. I don't disrespect them or take it personal. That's what is so disgusting. And it's just allowed to happen over and over again. Mary Kay Cabot, Cammie Justice, the amount of people that have these kind of responses. Hayden Grove called him out today and someone responded to him with a disgusting response.
Oh my God. That's just an insta block, but yeah.
And there's too many of those people. And they're sitting behind computers, behind device screens and just posting things out there.
Probably doing nothing to help the world whatsoever.
No.
Meanwhile, the people they're attacking are just wonderful people that do stuff for the community all the time.
And the disgusting stuff comes from people of all walks of life. And guess what? The impactful things in our society come from everybody in every walk of life. That's why equality still needs to happen and still need to be actually brought into the society, because it never actually is. It's a word that's said, but has never been fully executed and brought into our society. And there's always work that's going to need to be done on that. And we need to do a better job of doing good rather than the evil side of life. Enough.
Kevin, I got some good news for you.
What's that?
On this other side of the break, we're going to have more fun, but your Blue Devils won.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, that's right. I'm a Dookie.
I'm an Izzo fan, and that didn't like this.
I'm a Duke Blue Devil fan. We'll talk about that and some other fun stuff on the other side. If we go a little bit over today, I don't care because I got to get.
I already swore. I mean, we're breaking all kinds of rules. I'm still mad at myself for that.
Shoot, I'll swear too. It's been a shit show to a certain degree, but we're going to have a little bit of fun to end the show. Stay tuned right here on the Voice of Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land. One final time tonight, Sunday, March 20th, 2022. Kevin Arnold alongside Always Positive Jay and Peter Tellep. We were talking to Deshaun Watson the whole time, and I think really good conversation tonight, and hopefully people appreciate it. Even if they disagree, hopefully they appreciate it, and it allows more conversations like that to happen.
Feel free to reach out to us, dude. I'll have an open conversation with you. We're not going to get mad at you, call you names, take your opinion personal. It's an opinion. And you learn more from conversations because, like I always say, if you're a know-it-all, you leave yourself no room to grow.
Yeah, and these conversations are necessary. And like you said, we will definitely have those. And it's been tough because this is it's a sports topic that has societal impact that, sports is supposed to be kind of an escape for people. And it hasn't been able to be that, especially for the great deal of Browns fans that are around the country and around the world. We're going to switch to sports to have a bit of fun to end because there's still sports going on. And, Jay just told me before the break that, Mike Krzyzewski's final run as coach of the Duke Blue Devils continues into the Sweet 16.
Now, as much as I do not like Duke, this would be the year. If they won, I'd be like, you know what? Coach K deserved it. Like, I can't deny that dude's greatness. He's the best of all time.
I mean, look what he did with the USA basketball. After they got that bronze medal in 2004, Mike Krzyzewski came in. I know Jerry Colangelo in charge of USA basketball brought him in, and it was a culture change to get back to USA dominating even on the world stage. And, getting these top players like LeBron and Kobe, Carmelo, D Wade, all of them to play together and play for one purpose and play for their country, like truly take on that mantra. When you go to the Olympics to represent your country, you are playing for your country and everybody that is associated with it. Do you have a question for you guys about, the whole, people not liking Duke thing, but I'll get to that in 1 second.
It's because UNC is better.
Okay.
The one subject I think you're going to see from the two of us, we're complete opposite fans. This is good. It could be good stuff.
But we do have our March Madness or Voice of the Land bracket challenge going on. I guess I can't say March Madness because we're not really sponsoring
I
it.
know I'm like ranked 288 or something like that.
Yeah, it says I'm like 50 plus, but like you were saying, you got to keep scrolling to actually find your rank. I don't even want to. I'm so bad right now. But we did ask for people that entered to put in their Twitter handle. I don't know who's in the lead though, because it says ESPN fan 865205558. I'm not going to give the whole number because maybe
if
that's
you might want to change to your Twitter handle because if you win and we don't know who the hell you are, it's going to second place. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
well, tied for first right now is ESPN 361.
Like, whoever has the Twitter handle and followed all the rules that gets the closest up to there is going to get our prize.
Yeah.
So, like, sorry you didn't follow our rules. Yeah. I apologize.
Like entering one bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's kind of our fault.
Yeah, we'll put that on us though, Peter, because
we live and learn.
There's still only one winner.
Yeah, there's still only one winner, but we didn't say beforehand. I tweeted out after, but people had already put multiple ones in and they weren't going to go back and delete it. So whatever the top bracket is that followed all the rules, they will get the $100 Amazon gift card. And if they feel so compelled, they would be welcome through Zoom or even in studio to come join the show for a segment, even the whole show, and give some of their.
Well, I found you, Kevin. I was scrolling down. You are 249.
You're ahead of me.
Oh, I'm ahead of Jay
because I still haven't found myself yet. So.
Well, Jay, you were doing like what? Like it was like a almost a sports betting thing, but not really. What's it called? Like cover 5? Cover 5 or something?
I'm almost. There's 7,000 people, and I'm only a few hundred away from dead last.
Yeah.
So like our boy, if you just faded me, you would have done awesome. I should have just started posting my pictures like pick opposite of me. And I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about college basketball. All I did is go pick, swipe, pick, done. And that's how my bracket showed up, and that's why I'm in 288. Yeah, so don't ever come to me for betting on college basketball.
Ooh, maybe I misspoke. Maybe I just didn't find myself. I just found APJ here. He's 228.
Moving on up.
Oh, look at that.
So where the heck
you're
am I?
Like my final 8, I have my complete final 8 is still there. It's just the beginning.
Mine's not
garbage.
Yeah, mine's not.
I'm at 184.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at you.
Well, and I know absolutely nothing about college basketball.
Well, guess what, Peter? If you are ranked ahead of us two on the show, guess what you get? A heap and pile of nothing.
I know.
Except bragging rights where you get to spew all of the AI speak through your mic that you want. That's
believe me, that rank's gonna keep going down. I was like number 3 a couple, when this started. I was like, ooh, number 3. I'm like, ooh, number 8.
I'd love to see UNC and Duke play it out in the tournament. I don't know if they can meet up or the brackets.
I was hoping in the Sweet 16 we were going to get Ohio State and that team up north, but Ohio State.
I mean,
again,
don't
like
get me wrong.
Anything but a men's basketball school because hey, the women won in the final four, the Frozen Four, first ever national
Congratulations.
championship
Congrats to them.
in hockey. They were ranked number 1. They finished off the deal. I think they won against like Montana, Saint whatever.
They won it all. That's all that matters.
They beat
the Ohio State with another championship.
Yeah, you know, we
added
just
to the collection.
bringing the championships. The men's team, I mean, they go cold at the worst times. Like I've watched a few of their games this year, and the reason why they've lost games, even though they've been kind of like leading, and especially against bad teams. And that team up north is a bad team during the season. Somehow, them and the other team up north, State with Izzo, they somehow play well in the tournament if they somehow get in. Which credit to them for playing best at the end of the year. But I mean, Ohio State just goes cold the last 4 minutes.
Villanueva is an awesome team.
Villanova.
Villanova, sorry.
Villanueva. Charlie
But yeah,
Villanueva.
Good stuff.
It's
We'll just call them Nova. Yeah, they got some shooters out there. And it felt like every time we'd make a run and we'd make a big three, you're like, all right, here we go. They just walk right down and boom, big three. And you're like, oh, man. And they're just costly turnovers there at the end.
Well, did you see the story about the fifth-year senior for Villanova? I can't even remember his name now because
every time you say it, I keep thinking of Villanueva.
This kid's played like over, I think, 153, maybe 154 games now at Villanova. Because he came
back. Like David Lighty from the Buckeyes. Remember him? I swear to God, he played like 7 years there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some of these players that you see like they've played forever. I will say, like, I know we didn't do our well wishes segment tonight. I do want to send out well wishes to Kyle Young from Ohio State. He dealt with 3 concussions over the last 12 months and may have gotten another one. I didn't see the actual diagnosis, but him and his either fiance or wife, they just had a baby, and she had the baby she had the baby with her at the arena today. They were showing shots of her kind of like almost in tears because you feel for someone like that. Dellavedova went through that, couldn't get through that's why Kyle Young hasn't been able to play. And he was a key piece for the Buckeyes. And
they're coming back. He was the one that sparked it. It looked like him and I forget the former Mr. Ohio basketball. On the team.
Malachi Branham.
Yeah.
Out of it was St. Vincent St. Mary, right?
Maybe.
I think Brandon was from St. Vincent St. Mary, who won the state title today too. They did win another state title. I think that's 7 now for Coach Drew Joyce the second.
You did remind me, and change the subject on wishing people well. I have to give a shout out to Paul Brown, our friend from England. He is literally driving into a war zone, dropping off supplies to everyone over there. So hats off to you, man.
Yes.
That ain't like donating. He is literally risking his life helping people. That is incredible. Yeah. We need more people like that out there.
I mean, again, we just said it. We need to do more good to help society grow instead of doing more evils that are kind of taking society back to ancient times. We mentioned earlier, not to, make light of anything or, try to push off the question I was going to ask you guys. Why? So I know not here in Ohio, but it's popular to hate Ohio State, especially football wise, just like it's popular to hate Duke basketball. Why is it not popular to hate UNC basketball? Because everybody loves UNC. Like people hate Ohio State football because they feel like everybody loves Ohio State football. So they need to be the opposite. That's kind of how my sister was growing up. Like, I don't understand why UNC gets all the love and Duke doesn't get any, I guess. I don't know. Is it because of Jordan? Is it Jordan?
I know a lot of Duke fans. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a ton of Duke fans.
Like everybody loves to see Ohio State football lose, especially when they get upset by a lower team in the Big Ten, just like everybody loves to see Duke get beat by a lower, even if North Carolina's not having a great year, like they weren't going into the final game of the year. They loved watching Krzyzewski have to tell the crowd, I'm sorry and stuff. And
with that team, I think there's the 3 big teams that decide who you're going to hate.
Yeah.
You're either a Kentucky fan, a UNC fan, or a Duke fan.
Okay.
And you hate the other 2 with a passion.
Okay.
Because they're just huge. Like those are the blue bloods of basketball right there.
Yeah.
But me, like, growing up, we lived in a duplex, and my older cousin, he was, I think, 5 or 6 years older than me. I just looked up to him. He was the man, you know what I mean? And he grew up watching Jordan and just idolized Michael Jordan. So he loved UNC and the Chicago Bulls. So when I was a kid, I liked Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, Cavs fans, I learned. But he loved UNC, and I just always saw that jersey in the 90s that they had with the plaid down the side was really cool and real popular then. And then they teamed with Vince Carter, Haywood, Jerry Stackhouse. Loved watching them. Like I said, I just think whatever team you pick, you're going to pick one or the other, I feel like.
I mean, maybe I connected more with Duke. It's not even that I hate UNC because I'm not as into the rivalry as people that have gone to the universities or have some sort of deeper connection with them are. Like, so like if UNC wins, it doesn't like pain me to see them win because I was brought up on the black and white, or not even black and white video, but like early color video of Michael Jordan and James Worthy playing together and winning national championship with North Carolina. Like, you know, learn the history of basketball. Like I appreciate all of that. And North Carolina is a big piece of that. Just like Duke and especially with Mike Krzyzewski has been a big piece of the history of the game of basketball. Maybe I connected more with Duke because, you know, I went to a high school that was the Blue Devils and Duke was the Blue Devils. Maybe it's that simple. I don't know, but
one of the most hated players ever in college.
Christian Laettner.
Yeah, he drew a lot of hate from Duke. Well, and dude, hell of a basketball player, one of the greatest college basketball players ever. But
I mean, I'm kind of showing my age with this, like more on the younger side, but like one of the first players that I really enjoyed watching play and watching shoot because I considered myself a defender and a guy that could shoot, not do much else, but I looked up to kind of the shooting form of Mark Price, Reggie Miller, but also, you know, oh my gosh, why the name just
JJ Redick?
JJ Redick, yeah. And while
I knew you were describing when you were saying I couldn't stand him.
I couldn't stand him. I'm like, I had the name.
You're so good. I'm like, stop shooting threes, dude.
Well, I had the name, and then like Christian Laettner just kept going through. Like all I could see was that turnaround shot that they always show in the
I was too young for that. I don't really have a hate for Christian Laettner. I think that play is cool looking, but
I've seen highlights where I understand why he gets hate though. So like I get it.
I can't like two Duke players I can't stand. There's JJ Redick's one and Shane Battier's two. Like, and I respect them. Like they're so good. Yeah. That's why I know I don't like them. But man, I couldn't stand them when they would play UNC. They would just kill us.
Well, like especially me because you know my family would like always they knew and would hear my fandom and stuff. And my grandpa was working in a bank at the time, and one of JJ Redick's family members like lived up here and would come into the bank and talk to my grandpa all the time. And my grandpa knew I was a JJ Redick fan, and this guy got a signed picture from JJ Redick himself in his time at Duke, like in like the actual like shooting form. And like, that's like one of my cherished pieces of memorabilia just because it like the connection in my family kind of getting that for me. But, you know, I've always been a Duke fan. I just always question why,
who's the one guy, Grayson? I'm sorry. He's the most hated. I can't stand it. It was the dirtiest player I've ever seen, Kevin.
I'll be honest right now. It was hard for me to watch Duke games when Grayson Allen was at Duke.
But like, this is a fun rivalry for me. Cause like I said, I'm not no diehard. Yeah. It's a fun rivalry for me. One of my favorite all-time games, and you probably wouldn't like it, is when Tyler Hansborough got his like face busted open.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And he was just balling out, and you just look at him, you just had this face like, I'm beating you, Duke.
Well, I'm not as against that as you think I am because you know how much I love basketball in general. Yeah. Like that was a basketball game.
Well, yeah, watch. I'm pretty sure Duke lost, so sorry.
Yeah, they did. And then
so we're gonna have a fun bet if they meet up. We can think of the stakes, but I would say we do something fun, not obviously we don't bet money, something where like maybe you wash my car or something like that.
We can think about it. Yeah, we'll think about it. You know, we'll have some time.
If they meet up, we'll definitely have to watch that game together.
Yeah. I mean, next week's show is kind of like up in the air. We don't know. So I guess if we don't have a show next week, we might as well say happy birthday to audio. Somehow an AI system still has a birthday. Yeah. But on Thursday, and of course to your fiance as well on Thursday, happy birthday to both of those people there.
And we can wish you a happy birthday because yours will be before the next show as well.
I wasn't going to mention that. I don't want to. I don't know. As years go on, like my birthday becomes more of like a day. Like
says the youngest guy in the show. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about his age. Right. Thanks.
No, thanks. Not that I don't.
We're that old.
Not that I want to. I don't want to talk about my age. Like I don't want to talk about like a day that's some emphasis towards me. Like I don't like attention.
You don't like attention on yourself.
Yeah, I like a group.
You have a podcast, Kevin.
Here, we'll do this.
Hey man, if I want attention, I'd go into Twitter space.
To not bring attention to him, we'll put the camera right on him. So
As I try to hide for the people just listening to the actual audio of this.
We got some
podcast.
other good news. The Cavs are back though.
Cavs are back. I know
They
we
got
didn't get a
2
chance
big
to talk to
wins.
Cavs. Like whenever we have another show, we're gonna put emphasis on wherever March Madness is at that point. Cavs.
All I want to say is
The fact that the Guardians ain't signing nobody or trading for anybody.
Ooh.
Oh boy,
Cavs,
that's gonna be
I
a
really-
minor league team. I'm going to tell you right now, it's gonna be a minor league team with a couple good major league hitters.
Cavs are
How's
so
your-
proud of Mobley stepping up in
Yes.
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
absence of.
And he hit a bit of a rookie wall. He did. Let's
And
be honest.
I think
about
it's helped him. Like I said, I was hoping. I love Allen. I told you he's my favorite player. But when he went down, I hope the silver lining was he would step up his game, and it pushed him to get past that wall. Now I think he's going to elevate. Like, oh God, if they can get healthy into this playoffs, they can make a run. And here's our Guardians news. And that wraps up the Guardians news there for all our signings for your Guardians. We got no outfield.
Any way to get like cricket sounds in
Oh,
put in there? Can
That's, in my head, I was what I was thinking. I was like, oh,
we ask our editor Donovan to put in?
We may have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, Mobley has definitely stepped up his game, and I love the pictures after the game. Like as much as like having the almost their version of the turnover chain, the junkyard dog chain.
Hey, big play, Dave. I'm still waiting for your 3D printer to print us up a dog yard chain there.
Yeah,
I need that.
Yeah, we definitely need that. Let's pass around the shows, like who had the the best show of the week or something like that. But I love seeing those because these guys are just having fun. They're getting back to having fun. There was a lot of pressure on them. They started to listen to the noise a little bit. 2 good wins. I mean, a big win against the Nuggets, and then back that up with a team. Even though they're not great, they've been playing better basketball
They're
with
scrappy,
Detroit.
man.
They're scrappy. They got not a lot to play for, but they're trying to build a culture there. And you always hear, there's always that one team you have a hard time beating during a season.
Why has it got to be Detroit? God, I can't stand Detroit.
Detroit basketball. That guy was from Ohio, right? From like Northeast Ohio. That did that for their PA announcer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But final good news of the night to kind of finish off with even more fun, because again, serious conversation was good tonight. But partners of ours, the Cleveland Crunch, 22-2 last night over the Cincinnati Swerve to go to 12-0. And talking with Admir Suljovic and Mikey Derizic after the game. Mikey with 6 goals. Admir had a couple goals, a few assists. Points leader in the league. Mikey's the goal leader in the league. They haven't played all the games, I think like 75% of them, and they're still leading in those stat categories. Man, they just are the embodiment of the culture over there with the Crunch. It's really one quarter at a time, and their minds were already switching over to, well, we got 3 weeks off because they got the number 1 overall seed. They won the Great Lakes Division. They're going to go play in the semifinals of the MASL2 playoffs once again. I think it's April 9th. We'll start that. It's April 9th through the 11th.
Yeah, I believe so.
But, the semifinals be on April 9th. That's the next, like the first quarter of that game is they're going to be their next focus. They're focused on how they're going to rest and recover and then get back to practice, stay focused, because this is the craziest statement that I made last night calling the game. And I do want to say some thanks in just one second, but I said that an undefeated team, 11-0 at the time and now 12-0, is somehow playing their best soccer, the best of their sport throughout the season. They're playing at their best when it matters most, and yet they're undefeated and had like a plus going in. I think it was like plus 79 goal differential. That's 90, almost 100 now.
So they're just ascending upward the whole time.
Oh
yes.
yeah, last week they won 18-1 against Cincinnati down in Cincinnati. Last night was 22-2.
Yeah.
And it was just an onslaught.
I mean, it was tough to score at first, like the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then once Admir broke through, like it just the barrage just never started.
It's like the floodgates got open.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, the Cincinnati goalkeeper, he honestly had some really amazing saves.
both of them.
Because because
The one in the fourth quarter where you had like back to back, he went down on the ground, jumps up, gets the second one.
Really amazing. So the score could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
because they just overpowered. It was just amazing.
It's a machine that just keeps on rolling. The ball movement, always say the common adage, whether it's basketball or anything where you're moving the ball around, ball moved faster by the pass than the dribble. It really did. And they were the ball was just hopping person to person last night. The player movement in and out. They knew that they were going to bring all 5 of their players and just try to make this wall. it didn't matter. You could have put probably 7 players out there for Cincinnati to try to get in front of the goal. And I don't know, like that scoreline probably would have been pretty similar. And I just want to take an opportunity to thank the Cleveland Crunch organization for not only giving LPV Productions and myself an opportunity to be a part of it, but to partner with us and allow us to kind of, I guess, self-promote in a way for the post-game show. But I do also want to send a sincere thanks, like I did last night, to Eric Davis, Luciano Rashido, and the entire Crunch organization for giving a kid that grew up being a Crunch fan, and that was the only professional sport that we could really afford tickets to. I've got a whole crate full of all of the Hector Marinero bobbleheads and vuvuzelas and whatever Crunch gear that they would hand out down at the Convocation Center, now known as the Wolstein Center on Cleveland State's campus. I just got to thank you for giving me an opportunity to be the voice of the team that I grew up in, a sport that I absolutely love. I mean, it almost brings tears to my eyes because I feel so humbled that I would be kind of put in a position like that and have an opportunity. Like it's credit to the team. It's a credit to the organization. It's
a credit to your hard work.
And it's a credit to Peter and Jacob, his son. We had AJ Marcinko and a student kind of coming in. I think he's a high school student. Is that right?
Yeah, he's a junior at Independence.
Yeah, already learning the film work for LPV Productions, and of course Jim Wagner, and the late great Mike Allen. Always said all gas, no brakes. That's why we're kind of saying it at the end to honor him, because he really lived life that way, and he'd want us to keep going and keep doing this kind of stuff. And we'd love kind of having the conversations that we had tonight, especially the fun ones. So thank you so much, Cleveland Crunch, and good luck. Let's just keep the thing rolling. Keep going, get that work in over the next 3 weeks, and let's bring another one home. The 2021 is well over. I know the focus from Coach Louis Kostelik and the team is going to be, let's put another star up there, get another trophy here in 2022. Keep that culture and that high expectations for the Crunch organization rolling. Guys, it's been a fun one tonight. I mean, not necessarily fun in the sense that, the conversations we had to do, I think that it was very
needed.
It was needed. I would say that a very needed show tonight. That's a better way to phrase it. The last segment was pretty fun. But again, DM us. I know, Jay, yours are open, or even tweeting at you at Always Positive Jay, at Kevin and 7, at LPV Productions. Even if you disagree with us on the whole Deshaun Watson take and the NFL take that we kind of talked about and had the real conversation about tonight, we're still willing to kind of have those conversations, understand both sides, and just kind of come to a good common ground of understanding between both sides. Thank you so much to the people that reached out to us tonight, or just tuned in for a couple minutes here tonight. For Always Positive Jay, for our AI system audio, better known as Peter Tellep, I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you sports fans, truly, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We love you all. We love everyone. 3,000. And as we just said, as our late great friend Mike Allen always said, live life, all gas, no brakes. We'll see you all down the line on the next edition of The Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Network.